I want to become a millionaire with a six-pack in 1,234 days, and we're at day 131 to day 140. On day 131, I had 77.5%, and now on day 140, I have 77.6% muscles. Then 18.4% to 18.3%. Yeah, that makes sense. And from 84.4 kilograms to 84.5 kilograms, nothing is changing. What the heck am I doing? That's a bit frustrating for me. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to eat less. I'm tracking my calories, and it's not working. Okay, so here are a couple of honest thoughts about this, like really honest thoughts about this. I am very sure I figured out what went wrong now while I'm recording it already, but back then I didn't know. You can guess in the comments, why can I not lose weight? What was the reason? I'm curious what you will think. Okay, time for more planks to match up the subscribers. Almost there. It's a piece of cake. I'm very sure the challenge is basically over. What is quite interesting is the question, did the planks get any easier? And the answer is yeah, but almost not measurable. It's so crazy. After more than 40 planks, I still feel like every single plank is hard to do. How come? Do you know the answer?
You're so weak.
If I keep on doing 1 minute planks, I will make progress over a long period of time. But if I do not challenge my muscles enough, for example, making a plank in 1 minute and 30 seconds or even 2 minutes, or putting weight on the back, I won't make any progress. You have to destroy some muscle tissue in order to gain the progress. If you always stay on the same level, not much will happen. You know that already, of course. Well, and that was a very good reminder to push myself a little bit more with my exercises. And of course, it has to do with my arm injury that I wasn't pushing the total amount in certain exercises. But I can do a couple of more things if I want to be honest with myself. The Bulgarian splits I now can do well with a 10 kilogram barbell. I started with 0. And the strict military press, I had 20 kilograms to start with, and now I'm trying it very permanently well with 30 kilograms. Assisted pull-ups are my greatest improvement, from 65 kilograms down to 30. But yeah, as I said, my right arm was in terrible shape already, so back then I had to do it a bit more slowly. And the sit-ups, oh yeah. Do you remember one of my first weighted sit-ups videos where I couldn't even push through the 5 kilograms? Well, now I can make 3 sets with 10 kilograms quite easily. Overall, not big improvement, but it gives me a little bit more of an incentive to push further. I'm on it.
And now for something completely different.
Last year, I was one of the chosen ones for the Blueprint 5000 project of Bryan Johnson.
It's true. I am the chosen one.
A chance to upgrade my fitness, health, and overall discipline. But just 30 days in, I had to quit. To join, you had to commit to a couple of expenses, rather a lot. We had to buy a Withings scale, a wearable device, make a big-ass blood test, and of course, buy the Blueprint stack every month. One of the biggest steps was definitely the huge blood panel. It's like not one of those blood panels which you just go to the doctor and you get some blood taken and then you get a couple of results. It was like, we want the full package, the vegan package, the sports package, we want everything. And it was really interesting because it was the first time I kind of understood what was inside of me. Yeah, and these are the results. High iron and high testosterone, that stuck through. So I remember when I was calling the doctor and asked him if there is something to worry about, that I have high testosterone. And he said, no, you're just a very manly man. And you have to remember, I'm a very old vegan guy, so iron should be super low and my testosterone should be also super low. So that was a bit of a surprise. Just after a couple of weeks in the Blueprint project, where I also received my stack of Blueprint foods, things went a little sideways. It started with the food delivery, part of the Blueprint, which cost much more than expected because of VAT and tax and delivery stuff. I remember that the Blueprint team really did their best to try to compensate, and they even made it cheaper and they paid the VAT in front. The delivery stuff I could tolerate, but I probably couldn't tolerate this year. I'm pretty sure it was that stuff because I tested the different pills which I got, and when I took this, I got such terrible heartburn. It devoured me from the inside. It was terrible. I read that a couple of other people also had this similar experience. The Blueprint team was very quick with exchanging some of the products and making them more tolerable for most of the public, but I already made my decision. So, was that a huge waste? Over €1,500 for absolutely nothing? I will go into detail about this in my last reflection part. I really believe it is worth watching that one. Exactly 1 year after the first blood test, I took another blood test, and the results: I have too much iron and too much testosterone. What's happening? Nonetheless, I'm still a little worried that this will affect my heart, so I also made an appointment with the cardiologist, and I will go in May. And that is funny because you're watching this video and it's already May, so we will see how that went. Money! Now it is time for eBay. And these are the items I put into eBay, and this was the price I wanted to sell them for. Every Captain Morgan shirt for just €1 bidding. And I remember that they had much more value roughly 10 to 15 years ago. I'm too late for those things all the time. And those wrist thingies, I had like 18 originally packed, and I tried to sell one for €6 a piece. I wonder how many I will sell of those. Then we have Dorfromantik, also €1 for bidding, or I think it was €20 to buy. And finally, the Gold Star. What a name. With 2 games and a controller, and the bidding starts at €140. What a cheap entry, right? Come on, baby, you can get double. So 7 items in total. And how many have I sold in this week? 3. That's it? Oh no. Nobody wanted any of the Captain Morgan things, except one single person. Well, at least that means that the board game and the console were sold, so... Getting there. Let's start with the shirt. €1. I just sold my Captain Morgan originally packed t-shirt for €1. So now I have to pack this stuff and send it to you. Well, it can only get better, right? Here we go, Dorfromantik, €11.06. Wow, congrats to whoever bought that, because you really made a great deal. And my suspicion that eBay is more for the buyer than the seller seems to be a real thing. But here is my last big hope. The 3DO console, with the games, with the controller. Come on, you can do it. Give me more money. €176. So, in total, including packaging and postal, I made a little bit more than €200. Hooray. But you know what? On the bright side, that means I conquered one of my challenges. These €200+ on top of the 300 I took from the money I work for actually solved the €500 saving for a month. Hoo-hoo-hoo! Honestly, that was a great challenge suggestion, so thank you very much for that, and it really helps my progress, obviously. So, 500, here we go! Hey, what happened? Oh, I remember. I have this poor soul, my underpaid editor, to be honest. And he gets some money too for editing those videos, so thank you, my friend, for being a fool and believing in my journey. And here's your money. So, I'm left with €50. But you know what? Better than nothing. Planks. Okay, let's get real. I accomplished it. We don't have to wait for the next video. I'm getting bored of those planks. Job's done. The challenges. I'm doing it. I need to find a better challenge from day 150 to 200, I think. And the next video, the wind takes me to another place. Here's a sneak peek. Only problem is it's really windy. What the heck is that? This looks promising. And there is another challenge, which was of course to join the 2 social clubs. Last video I already told you I went to a chess club. I'm a member now, and this time I organized something else. I will play beach volleyball again. How nice is that in Hamburg? Rainy, rainy Hamburg. In Malta, I played beach volleyball for years and I had such a blast. Good friends, lovely weather, but of course in Hamburg that was difficult. But if I would have made a bit more research, I would have quickly noticed that there is a beach club in Hamburg and they even have courses. I haven't played for 5 years, so I need to get back on track, and I booked a course for 2 months. Every Friday I will play beach volleyball now, starting in May. That means another challenge accomplished. Wow, what is happening? Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. What else happened? You won't believe it. I actually played against the strongest German chess player, and he had a simultaneous match in the curious city of Salzgitterbad. He played against, I think, 35 people. I was one of them. I lost after probably 6 moves already, but I kept on playing. Yeah, that's what happens when you play an opening which you don't know anything about. That was a very clever idea. So, the Blueprint 5000 experiment. Was it an absolute waste of money? 1,500 euro? Whoopa! No, actually, it was the opposite. One of the main reasons is it actually got me started to do the 1,234 days challenge. I have the withing scale, I have my Apple Watch as a wearable, and I could measure my progress a bit better. Overall, I was just caring more about myself. Even though I just did the Blueprint project for 30 days, it didn't mean that I had to stop. So short commitments, they can really last for the rest of your life. And this is an important message. So whatever it is you're struggling with, may it be to go to the gym or eat healthier or whatever, the more often you do it, it will at one point last. And you will always, every time you do it, it will always benefit your future self. So this is what I'm telling myself, and this is what gives me some power often enough to just start with another thing. And maybe, yeah, of course, I failed here, I failed there, I failed for the last 2 weeks, but now it's time to get up again, do that thing, because my future self will thank me for that. So I will see you in the next video, and maybe you get your thing started, whatever it is, too.